They wanted me to have kids. I gave them triplets. My cousin's wedding reception was supposed to be about celebrating love, but instead I got cornered by my aunt near the chocolate fountain while she launched into her favorite topic. You're 32 now, sweetie, and that biological clock doesn't stop ticking just because you pretend not to hear it. I tried explaining that I genuinely enjoyed being the fun aunt who spoils my sister's kids, then hands them back when they're sticky, but my aunt wasn't having it. That's what they all say until they realize they've missed their chance. My mom jumped in, adding, "We just worry you'll regret it when it's too late, and frankly your father and I aren't getting any younger." Even my grandmother announced to the entire table that I was wasting my childbearing years on that silly career of mine. I hoped they would drop it, but the next week at Thanksgiving my uncle literally made a PowerPoint presentation about declining fertility rates, complete with graphs showing how my eggs were shriveling up as we watched him click through slides at the dinner table. That night I called my best friend Maeve, who had 3-year-old triplets, and said, "I need to borrow your children." At my parents' Christmas party the next month, Maeve dropped off Oliver, Madison, and Chloe with instructions on maximizing chaos, which honestly wasn't necessary because these 3 were naturally gifted at destruction. I dressed them in already stained matching outfits, then loaded them into my car while practicing my exhausted parent face. When I walked through my parents' front door carrying Madison while Oliver and Chloe ran straight for the white carpet with chocolate-covered hands, my mother dropped her wine glass. Surprise! Everyone, I adopted triplets last month and wanted to wait until we were all together to introduce you to your new family members. The silence lasted 3 seconds before Chloe found my grandmother's purse and started throwing credit cards like confetti, while Oliver discovered that Christmas ornaments made excellent projectiles. My dad stood there stammering while Madison had her signature meltdown, complete with the kind of screaming that makes your ears ring for hours. My aunt was the first to recover, saying, "3 at once, dear? Don't you think that's ambitious for someone with no experience?" I responded by accidentally letting Oliver near her designer handbag, where he found her lipstick and gave himself war paint before redecorating the bathroom wall. My mother kept asking, "When did this happen and why didn't you tell us?" While I juggled stopping Chloe from eating tinsel and Madison from unplugging the Christmas lights for the 5th time. "It happened so fast," I said, while Oliver discovered the punch bowl was perfect for standing in. The relatives who'd been so concerned about my empty womb were suddenly nowhere near the action, except my uncle who tried giving parenting advice until Madison threw up on his PowerPoint laptop with surprisingly excellent aim. My sister arrived late, took one look and whispered, "Are those Maeve's kids?" But I gave her a look that promised future babysitting if she kept quiet, and she immediately started playing along. By the 2-hour mark, my parents' pristine house looked like a tornado hit it, and every relative who'd spent years hassling me about children was either hiding in the kitchen or had mysteriously remembered urgent errands. Oliver had found permanent markers while Chloe was having her 3rd screaming fit because Madison looked at her wrong and Madison herself had decided pants were optional. My uncle was trying to salvage his presentation materials when Oliver pulled the laptop cord, sending everything crashing down while I pretended to chase him, but stayed just a second too slow. "Maybe you should have started with just one," my grandmother suggested from the hallway, while I tried extracting Oliver from behind the television, where he'd wedged himself chasing what he called electric mice. My mom finally broke when Chloe projectile vomited an entire bottle of chocolate syrup onto the cream-colored sofa. "Perhaps you weren't quite ready for this blessing," she said weakly, while my dad patted my shoulder saying, "We'll support whatever you decide." My aunt, who'd been so insistent about motherhood, actually said, "There are resources available if you realize this isn't working out." After 3 hours, I announced the triplets needed their nap and started loading them into my car when Madison grabbed my leg and yelled, "We want to stay with Aunt Maeve's friend." My mother froze completely and my sister started laughing so hard she had to sit down. "What did she just say?" my aunt whispered while Oliver helpfully added, "Mommy said we were playing pretend family today." The look on my uncle's face as he connected the dots was absolutely priceless, and my grandmother actually said, "Oh, thank God," out loud. I couldn't keep a straight face anymore and threw my head back, joining my sister in laughter. "These are Maeve's kids. You've all been so insufferable about me having children that I decided to show you exactly what you were asking for." My parents tried to look offended but ended up laughing, especially when Chloe announced, "Your house is messy now," like she was proud. Even my uncle had to admit it was genius revenge, though he was still mourning his laptop.